Yo, good people. Water, refreshing. Good evening to you. Obviously, this is not my customary time, so it's sending out that notification. I'll give it about a minute and then do my thing and get out the way. Yes, Gabe is live. Yes, this is not his normal time. No, this is not Let's Chat. Just answering all that kind of good stuff. Only going to be on a few, but I'll give it about another minute or so, give people opportunity to jump in for a second. Obviously, the title tells you what we're about to chat about for a minute here. And like I said, I'll be on and off and out of your way. Share this out. Hope everybody is doing well as we get ready to go into the weekend. All right, just a few more seconds here, and then I'm going to kick off and get rolling and get out of here. Again, this gets saved on to my page, so I don't feel compelled to have to wait around for numbers to build. It's a Friday as well, so I'm sure people Friday early evening here, and people may be still working on the West Coast and Mountain Standard Time, and people on the Central Standard Time and Eastern Standard Time are getting off work about right now, so I don't plan to stay here long. But I wanted to drop this real quick, just as make a couple of notations and be out your way. Now, as you can see in the title, lifestyle match, a cautionary tale. And I'm sitting here typing a post, something that just kind of came to me, and then it got a little long. And I said, I might as well just do a video real quick, and that way I could say it succinctly and not have to type, because I like to be as clear as I possibly can be whenever I'm doing something. So here's what I want to talk about briefly. And of course, feel free to comment, talk back to me, share this out, get this on your page, because I'm pretty sure somebody is dealing with this on your page. This may be you. Now, lifestyle match, a cautionary tale, is just really me talking, especially to my dear sisters. When I say sisters, I don't mean just black women. I mean my Facebook friends who might be single, and in particular, who, in your own estimation, others would probably agree, you're doing pretty well. Maybe making some middle class money from school teachers and principals and, things like that. You're working in the, as an RN in the nursing industry, a doctor, lawyer, or you've been on your job for 20-something, 30-something years. You're doing well. You got your side businesses. You're ambitious. You're doing well. Okay? So this is not for every single woman, but hey, feel free to stay tuned in. And this is also for men, fellas. I need you to kind of listen in on this so you can get the gist of what I'm talking about. So this is directed especially, and I have obviously a lot of professional female friends here on Facebook. I used to be in the school system, school teacher. So I am familiar with women in these kind of capacities. I have friends who are in the counseling business, their own business, tax business. They own their own tax offices. On and on and on and on and on. So I know a lot of highly professional women some are doing their own businesses and doing very well. And some of the signs of that, not that every single one of these women do this, but they travel, they talk about their passports and things, which is cool. I'm not here to knock any of the lifestyle they're living, right? I'm just saying it's a cautionary tale. And as a man, I've talked about this on my Thursday broadcast. I feel like as men, especially single men, we have a responsibility to help out where we can, to give insight when we can. And so what I want to really do is kind of maybe hopefully open your eyes to a couple of things and why you may be seeing some struggles. And first of all, let me be clear. I'm not under the impression that there's just no decent men, and I tend to fall at the decent level. As some would say, good men. Okay, well, I say decent. So I'm not here to suggest that there's just no good men. But one of the things that I have noticed and really didn't stop to think about is the fact that many women feel like maybe one of the issues may be, or one of the qualities that's lacking, is that they are ambitious, they're go-getters. Let's just, go-getters, they're ambitious. Ambitious sometimes can sound like a negative word. It's not, but it can sound like a negative word. And so they're go-getters. That's why they've had these successes. That's why they're living that middle-class life. They're driving the car that they want to drive, or they're driving a high-end car. Again, when they want to, they can jet set around the world, or they can, at least go on vacations and go where they want to go. I had a conversation over the last week or so with a couple of female friends like this who are in that kind of position. They're doing well, and they're able to move around because of it. Not everybody wants to go to museums or that kind of thing, but they can, and they have. Again, they can jump on a plane almost at the drop of a hat. Their kids, given our age, and I'm talking obviously 40 and up. They've been on some cruises. They've gone to Cabo. They've gone to Hawaii. They've gone to Jamaica. They've gone. Matter of fact, they're talking more and more about those ambitions because their children are either graduating from high school, have graduated from high school. They may be grandmothers now. So I want to make sure you know who I'm referring to, right? I'm referring to a specific group of women, individual as they may be, who are doing pretty well economically, got their educations, started their businesses. Their businesses have hit that kind of sweet spot. They may not be millionaires at this point, but they're doing pretty good. And they're single. So I'm not talking about married women in this space, even though you might be able to pick up a couple of things for yourselves, ladies. If unfortunately, your marriage may be in a bad spot, I may be able to give you some insight there. I've been married, obviously, before. But here's why it's a cautionary tale. Because what I've noticed in just some of the things I see, I told you, I look at your pages from time, I don't look at everybody's page, 900 some odd people, but I will glance across a page or two. Obviously, I'm on social sites other than Facebook, and I see memes posted, I see post comments, things that's being said about, I need a man who can match my hustle. That's one of the things I've seen. In other words, be a go-getter, right? Be ambitious. Here's why it's a cautionary tale, and I'm almost done. The reason why that's a cautionary tale is I understand that a lot of times, ladies, when you're saying, and obviously I'm talking about this particular type of lady who's in this kind of space, when you're starting to say you want a go-getter and you want a man who's a go-getter, I don't know if you realize your history. So let me bring you up to speed on what we know from studies and things. I won't get into all that. But there was a reason why, and there continues to be a reason why men, well, up until women kind of moved into this very same space, it's just fact that men were dying of heart attacks and strokes. There's a reason why men were leaving this place early. And it is directly connected. Matter of fact, the World Health Organization just put out talking about working, notice, 55 plus hours a week. Well, who do you think is working 55 plus hours a week? It ain't the guy making $10 an hour. No, it's that guy who is at the verge of being a CEO, or he is a CEO, he is a manager, he is a supervisor, he is a go-getter. He's about his dreams, he's about his aspirations. He is indeed ambitious. But one of the things that ladies in particular that's in this group that you don't understand is that kind of man, historically speaking, hear what I'm saying, that kind of man, historically speaking, who is a go-getter, who can match you in terms of he hitting the floor at 4 in the morning and he's doing his thing. The problem is historically, men don't go get our ambitious ways are not expressed in the same way. Ambitious men are not talking about Cancun. Ambitious men are not talking about passports. Ambitious go-getter men are talking about being workaholics. They don't use the term, but they're workaholics. Well, Gabe, so are women. And we hold down a family. See, you're saying that because you think that matters to the kind of man that you're talking about. No. Because here's an element that you forget about, and I understand you forget about, that typically when men are go-getters, they are also highly competitive. There are very few go-getters like LeBron James. Very few who have a real family-centered kind of thing. Typically, go-getters, men who are go-getters are not also family-driven. They're just not. LeBron is a different kind of dude. And if you understand where he comes from, then you understand what I mean, single parent home and all of that. Let's take some suggest his antithesis of Michael Jordan. Go-getter, ambitious, billionaire, right? Billionaire, owns a basketball team. Ambitious. What happened to his family? He tore it up. And I'm not saying it's all on him, but if you do, you don't even have to do a lot of research. Michael Jordan, highly ambitious, billionaire, tore it up. Okay, you don't want me to deal with a brother. How about Bezos, Bill Gates? Highly ambitious. These are highly ambitious men. Are you seeing a correlation here? Again, a LeBron James is a very unique animal in a sense. He's unique to this because he is obviously ambitious. We'll see what happens when he retires from basketball. You have your Kobe Bryants, very ambitious, and there was a point he almost tore his family up. For those, I know he's passed on, but history is what it is. Let me just, again, I'm talking to ladies in particular who are single, who are go-getters. But you seldom, I didn't say it's never, but you seldom hear of a lady who is a go-getter, who is ambitious, who tears her home up. What did I just say 2 minutes ago? Because she brags on holding the family together while being ambitious. But men who are ambitious don't tend to be family-oriented men. So it's a cautionary tale. And even if you're a lady who is not necessarily in the economic bracket I'm talking about, be careful, ladies. You want that man who's going to jet set you around the world. Cool. You want that man who's buying you the diamond ring. Cool. But it's a cautionary tale. Hear me. I'm your boy. I'm your friend. I'm trying to help you understand something. And I appreciate the fact, Gabe, I got my own money. I know y'all brag on that stuff. I'm trying to help y'all understand. Men don't care. Especially ambitious men. Why? Because they tend to be competitive. So when they hear you say, I got my own, they take that as competition. They're not thinking about let's build together. If you say build together, they'll be like, cool. But in the back of their minds, it's competition. In the back of because that's what they do. They look for competition. They are after competition because that's a part of the fuel that gets them up in the morning to get that 8 cup of coffee by 5 o'clock in the morning to get up. They'll compete with their own wives. They'll compete with their children. They'll compete with their coworkers. They'll compete with their neighbors. You buy a Maserati, I'll buy a Bentley. You buy a Bentley, I'll buy an island. You buy an island, I'll buy 10 islands. That's how men are. So ladies, I want to give you a cautionary tale. Whether you're in that ambitious, goal-oriented kind of space or not, ladies, listen to me. I want a man to match my hustle. Not really. Not really. I don't think you understand. Men don't hustle the way you do. They hustle, but men don't hustle the way women hustle. Again, women will often, not every time, but women will hustle with a family orientation. Men don't hustle like that. Let me give you some examples that you're not going to like. This kind of guy, listen to me, ladies, he is usually nice when you meet him. He's a nice guy. I talked about this last night. This kind of guy is typically nice. Not always, but sometimes these guys are just flat out jerks. But this kind of guy can come off nice. He can come off very nice. And yet, it doesn't change the fact that he's vicious. It doesn't change the fact that as you get closer and closer. So it'll go like this. First meeting, how you doing, girl? Yeah, oh, you're very beautiful. Oh, thank you. Oh yeah, I see you dressed nice. You got your Michael Kors purse. You got your, that's how I got my hustle. Oh, I feel you. I feel you. I got my hustle. You thinking a kindred spirit, right? You thinking, oh man, somebody who can match my hustle. You don't realize that this dude is got something else in his mind, and I ain't talking about sex. Watch this. So this dude will say something like, yeah, you got your Michael Kors purse. Yeah, I got me a so-and-so wallet. Now, most ladies, with all due respect, you don't even realize he said that as a matter of competition. You don't even realize it. He'll say stuff like, oh, you did? Yeah, I just bought my mom 5 of those. And I got them at market price. He's competing with you. You don't even realize it. You think you found a man who's going to match your hustle. No, you just found a man who's going to compete with you. But he's nice with it. He's dressed to the nines. He's handsome, right? Tall, dark, and handsome. You don't realize that ambitious brother, that go-get-it type, he's competing with you right up front, and you don't even realize it. Because you're tired of dealing with the lazy man. Oh, I get it. I don't want the man just trying to drive my car. I ain't got no time I got to be on my grind. I got to be on my grind, Gabe. I ain't got no time for all that. I mean, I want him to be nice. I want him to be nice. I want him to be respectful. But I need him to be, if I'm getting up going to work, I need him getting up going to work. And blah, 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 blah. And you don't even understand that the kind of man you're describing is a jerk, but you can't tell. Because in the open throws, he's nice with it. Of course he is. Of course he is. I told you, this man will compete with his wife, his children, he'll compete with complete strangers. He's always competing. He's ambitious. That's how he interprets ambition. He interprets go-getter as not build together. He interprets go-getter as you do what I tell you to do because I'm boss. See, you're not understanding, ladies. So when you start calling yourself boss, hey, do what you do. But you don't understand the man who's going to pursue you is not likely going to pursue you because you boss. He's going to pursue you because he's CEO over you. That's the mentality of the ambitious man. That's the mentality of the man who said, yeah, I want a lady to match my hustle. That ain't really what he's saying, ladies. He ain't really saying that. What he's really saying is, I don't want somebody just sitting around while I'm out there working. He ain't really talking about, I want somebody who's going to rise with me. He's not talking about that. Let me give you another example. This is the same dude, ladies, who will open your car door. Stay with me now. He'll open your car door and be texting another woman. You'll be climbing out of his Bentley. Cool. You'll be climbing out of his Jag. You'll be getting out of his Nissan, blah, 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 with a drop top. Cool. But while he opening the door and giving you a compliment, he's texting another woman. And then you'll be talking to little lowly old Gabe about why am I not enough? Why am I not enough? Gabe, and you will be thrown off because you a go-getter. You're ambitious. When he met you, you was doing your thing. So you're thinking that makes you enough. You think your go-getter mentality, you think you're ambitious, I'm a boss, I'm a hustler, I'm a queen, I'm a this. You think that makes you enough for any one man. I hate to admit it, but that doesn't really make you enough. There is no such thing. There is no human being who is enough for another human being. When you make a commitment to be in a relationship, you're not making the commitment to be in a relationship because that person is enough. You're making the commitment to be in a relationship because that's what relationships need. Relationships require commitment. The notion that you're going to find somebody to match your hustle, to match your flow, is garbage. It's flat out garbage. Because ladies, if you get a man who is about the money and about the hustle and about getting up, making moves and movers and shakers, men tend to be jerks. Men who are that way have a tendency to be men who collect women. I'm just telling you what I know. I know men like that. Men who are like that, and you say that's the kind of man you want because you want him to be a go-getter. Men are not women. Just because you are able to be a go-getter and take care of home doesn't mean that's his ambition. You know what take care of home is to him? He hand you some money. That's what take care of home is to a man like that. To a man like that, he thinks, I bought you a ring. He thinks, I bought you a car. He thinks, I took you on a trip you said you wanted to go on, and while you sitting on the beach in Jamaica looking all delicious, that brother watching every piece of whatever walking past him. And you know what I'm saying is true, but you don't want to hear it because, gay, I need somebody who, look, I bought my own house. I bought my own car. I make X amount of money. And you think I need a man like that, and you don't understand a man like that who has bought his own, he don't need you. See, you may want him, but he don't need you because he's talking to 20 women like you. He's talking to 30 women like you because that's the world he walks in. Do you not understand? Bill Gates is on the verge of divorce. That 2 or 3 of the richest men that have ever lived have now gone through or are going through divorce. They're not rich because they're not go-getters. They are go-getters, but they're on the verge or have gone through divorce. Bezos and Gates. And Gates is a nice guy. But what did we find out? He's hanging out with Epstein. Epstein, you remember Epstein, right? The man who was selling human beings? The man who was selling human beings? And apparently Bill Gates knew it. And even when he was brought up on charges, according to reports, Bill Gates was still hanging out with him. And come to find out, Mr. Nice Guy Bill Gates apparently was hitting on his female staff. Mr. Nice Guy, glasses, geek Bill Gates was flirting with his female staff despite the fact that he had a lovely wife at home. I'm trying to tell you. So it's a cautionary tale, ladies. It's a cautionary tale because Mr. Gates, no, not Mr. Gates. Yes, Mr. Gates. Yes, Mr. Gates. Yes, Mr. Bezos. Yes, Mr. Michael Jordan, who tore up his family with Juanita Jordan. Come on, let's do it. You want to give you some preachers? I give you preachers. I give you musicians. I give you singers. I do this all day. I'll give you athletes. Obviously, Michael Jordan. Obviously, businessmen. Mr. Trump. How many marriages? Why? Because he's out there doing their thing. Ambitious men believe, watch this, they have an entitlement. They've made the money. They're entitled to, I don't want to get all into that, but they're entitled to whatever they're pursuing or whoever they're pursuing. Let's see. Andrew Cuomo, you want a politician? Cuomo. Now, Cuomo is single. I understand. But that same mentality, are you understanding me? That ambitious, so ladies who want a man to match your hustle, I don't think you're understanding what you're asking for. I know you don't want a lazy man. I get that. Much respect. But be very, very, very cautious. Be very, very, very careful. And I'm done. I'm not on here to be on here a long time. Be cautious, my dear sisters. Be cautious, ladies, my Facebook friends who are single and you feel like you've achieved and you are achieving and you've got your degrees and you're making your 6 figures, your 5 high figures, 6 figures, and you got your 3 or 4 different businesses and you out there nailing it. You taking care of it, and you think the only way it's going to really work is you got to get a man in here who might not have the substance you have, but he's got the mentality, and you don't understand. Men with that kind of mentality, and I don't even necessarily think it's a healthy mentality for women, but hey, you guys do your thing. All I'm telling you is be careful, ladies. Be careful. I don't want to raise no man gate. Hey, cool. I'm tracking with you. You shouldn't have to raise a man because if he's a man, he's raised. That means he's grown. My son is a boy. I'm a man. There's a difference. The reality of it is, but be very cautious as you applaud his ambition, as he's telling you about his businesses. Be cautious. Be cautious. I would go way longer than I want to go to get into some of the things you got to be looking for. Just hit me up if you want me to give you some things to look for. But understand, I'm not saying don't appreciate a man who has achieved in his life. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you're talking about getting into a romantic relationship with a man who has high achievements, listen for, I'll give you one, listen for his competitive edge. Is he looking at what he's acquired from a standpoint of competition? And it's real easy to tell with men who are highly competitive because the way they talk, the way they carry themselves, they don't carry themselves as men who don't have that edge about them. No, they want you to know. They want you to know that it's about competition. They want you to know. They want you to know. They want you to know I'm about my paper. Oh yeah, I'm about my paper too, Gabe. I ain't got no problem with that. Yes, you should. Because that's going to be the guy who's going to be texting everybody and their mama. Why? He's competitive. He won you. You don't even realize it. You think you flatter. Yeah, he got me. No, you don't understand. He won you. And I'm not going to call no names. I got a friend in California, I'll just say California, who told me about a lady he married. They're not married now. All I'm saying, he told me about a lady he married. He told me about everybody at that church where he met her was all trying to get her because she was living the very kind of lifestyle I'm talking about. She was a jet setter. She's a go-getter. She's ambitious, blah, blah, blah. And he set his attentions to get her. Now, in my estimation, good dude. Good dude. But the reality of it is that he's a go-getter and he's ambitious and he's all that stuff too. But I just want to make sure you understand they are not married, and I'm not saying it's his fault. She's got some things about her I won't get into. Very intriguing as well. Like I said, that's not really necessarily the best disposition to have. I get it, especially in America. I get it, because in America, that's what we're about. If we're just honest, that's what we're about. We're about baby boomers. We're about go get that paper. That's what we're about in this country. I may not be about that, but that's what people are about here. And they try to balance it out by being benevolent. So if I give a little bit to the homeless, if I do, some charitable work, that'll mask my go-getter, ambitious, win at every cost. Well, gay women ain't like that. Okay, sure, you're right. Women ain't like that. But men are. And there are many men out there who are win at any cost. And if he believes that victory, and I'm done, ready? That victory is winning you, he ain't going to be faithful to you. If his victory was putting a ring on your finger to secure you to himself, he ain't going to be faithful to you. David Beckham. You want me to? I can do it. David Beckham. On and on and on and on. Had to buy his Spice Girl wife, I don't know if they're still married, a big old diamond ring to say, I'm sorry. You want a preacher? John Gray. I'm not biased here. You got John Gray, cheated multiple times. Yeah, I got issues. You think, bro? So you got athletes, Michael Jordan, David Beckham. You got people in ministry, like my friend in California. You got John Gray. You got Jamal Bryant. On and on and on and on and on. Go-getters, ambitious. Ambitious. So ladies, if you want that kind of dude who's a go-getter, who can match your hustle, be cautious. Be cautious. All I gotta say. I'll see you next Thursday. I'll see you Thursday. All right, be good.